So this is the point in the Sunday vlog where I normally on the bike and I kind of ride up that hill. And there's footage of me like riding across a bridge, and you know, the vlog progresses from there. And normally they're quite good, and they're subscribe now, like, subscribe. But not today. I mentioned in the Oakley vlog that I'm doing a bit of gym work. So I thought I might take you along with me. Take you along with me. I don't know if I can do that. Can I film in a gym? Is that kosher? Are people going to stare at me? I'm used to people staring at me. I just don't want people like kicking me out of the place. I've just been going to the local PCYC, which is just here in Balmain. Gotta say, COVID's the best thing to ever happen to a gym. Like, I can remember years ago when I went to them, they were just grotty and like dirty and no one took responsibility. Now, it's like everyone's wiping everything down, everyone carries towels, it's brilliant. All right, etiquette question. So I'm doing a lot of the kind of equipment-y stuff at the moment, right? Leg press, leg extension, that sort of thing. Here's my question. Do you do your sets, like all your sets in one go on the machine? So basically, essentially hog the machine for like 15, 20 minutes while you do your 3 or 4 sets. Or do you work around, say, 3 or 4, 2 or 3 pieces of equipment, therefore kind of freeing up those things? Now, I've done both. Today was the first time I hogged. I just basically sat in and hogged one. Because what I'd found in the past is like I'd do one set, go to the other thing, and then you'd kind of, someone would go on to that one, and then you kind of got to go, oh, hang on, well, do I now have to change the way that I'm doing this? I've got to go back and do the leg press now, blah, blah, blah. So what is the route? What's the etiquette? Which way should I go? But don't worry, I am actually still riding a bike. I'm just a massive, big, swole person now. And yesterday, yesterday at a bike race at Heffron, I had a camera on. Yeah, I'll go to the office later and I'll show you, right? It was horrible. Clap. Right, so I was going to sit here and I was going to maybe pull up the race video from the weekend, have a bit of a chat about it, etc., etc. You've seen me doing it a million times, but no. I want to talk about this subject because I've been thinking a little bit about it recently, and well, I've actually kind of drummed up enough confidence to talk to you about it. I want to talk to you about pain, cyclists' relation to pain, specifically my own relationship to pain and how that has developed, because it's really at the very center of what we do, isn't it? And it doesn't really get talked about very much. So I just want to kind of share with you my thoughts on it and really open up the floor to you guys to maybe talk a bit about it. And a lot of this has come out of actually the gym work, because someone made a comment to me the other day. They were sort of like, oh, good to see you in the gym, blah, blah, blah. It's such a different kind of pain in there, isn't it? And I was like, different kind of pain? What do you mean? What I want to do is give you a little bit of a backstory into, I suppose, my own relationship. First off, I'm not someone who can, I suppose, categorize the types of pain they feel. And I know that is something that a lot of athletes, especially a lot of elite athletes, like to do. I find a really good one that people talk about a lot is that sort of sub-threshold or like sweet spot pain. It's like this sort of boiling pot that you can kind of like just keep a lid on and you just sort of suppress like every 5 or 10 minutes. It comes up and you sort of push it back down. I personally, in my own training, my own riding, my own racing, have found myself very much preparing myself for pain. That might be a position where I know a particular part of the race is going to hurt. So I'm almost preparing myself mentally for what that pain's going to feel like. In a particular interval, for example, I know that after the 3rd interval or something, that pain is going to come. What am I going to do at that moment? And it's like that was the preparation beforehand, was to get yourself in a mind space to deal with that particular pain, because it's going to come, because you knew it was going to come. So instead of focusing beforehand on that crunch moment, right? That moment where, you know, you're either going to give up or you're not, blah, 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 you're going to hit the number or you're not, and that's the moment. Instead of focusing on that, trying to broaden that and focus on the fact that, okay, I'm going to do 5 intervals, okay? And I'm going to do all 5, no matter what. Now, hit numbers, not hit numbers, deal with pain, not deal with pain. Just focus on it from a broader perspective rather than got 1 done, got 2 done, here it comes, and the anxiety of that building up. Because you're going to do all 5. You're going to go through whatever happens. You may or you may not give up in the 3rd one. Doesn't matter, you're still going to do it. So the mental place being, rather than that specific moment hitting your mark and getting through it. And the thing in this space is I was very prone to giving up, okay? Especially in training, just giving up, because the numbers on that day weren't good enough and you went home and you tried again another day. I've tried to really mentally shift that to be, you're just going to get it done. You're just going to get it done. Maybe the last 2 or 3, you're not going to look at your metrics or anything like that. You're just going to get them done, and whatever pain you've dealt with, but it's the process of the whole thing. I mean, this is such a broad subject, and it's a subject that I'd love to sort of delve more into on the vlog, but I find, because there's this whole other angle about sort of being addicted to pain, being addicted to certain parts of pain. I mean, as cyclists, that's just a given, right? I mean, you're not getting on a bike, but certainly as racing cyclists, you're not getting on a bike and racing it if you don't get some pleasure out of pain. But is that a certain type of pain? Like, can I replicate that pain in a gym? Personally, I don't feel like I can. Is the pain that I feel, this is actually what I really want to know, is the pain, whatever it is, in my body that I'm feeling at my threshold, or what I can feel like is as hard as I can go, what Egan Bernal can feel? Is that what his body is feeling at that point? And then there's like this whole other concept of, well, the line. Like, are there repercussions for crossing the line? Like, because you all know it. Like, you've gone that little bit extra and you've crossed the line. And look, I know a lot of people are probably watching this just going, oh, shut up, Chris, like, just deal with it. It's just pedaling a bike, you know, it's going to hurt, etc., etc. But I think a lot of people underestimate, like, it is a certain part of bike racing. So, like, for example, I am certain, like, Egan Bernal could turn up and do a B-grade Heffron race tomorrow and he'd probably win. But he would probably have to go through a little bit of hurt to do that. Now, probably not the same amount of hurt that the standard B-grader is going to go through, but I promise you that it's a certain part of that race for Egan Bernal he is going to have to hurt. But again, just coming back to, I suppose, my takeaways at the moment, it's very much been trying to focus on the process as a whole, like, and even taking away just the 5 intervals, taking a month just as a whole process, rather than every individual effort and the pain that is going to come from that particular effort. I'd love to get some thoughts of other people, but it is a very personal thing. And you don't want sort of guys getting on here and saying, well, you know, I always give up at this point. And then they're like, well, you know, the guys racing them will be like, well, you're soft. You know what I mean? Anyway, all right, guys. Now, there's a video playing behind me. Can anyone guess? Number 1, the course that's currently playing, and name 3 people in that race. Can you do it? I probably can't do it. Who's that? Well, that's the man himself. This got, was completely my fault, but a Tesla was behind me for like 10 minutes around Bobbin Head 2 weeks ago or something. I was like, I had no idea it was there. You Tesla drivers, you need like some sort of information to tell us that you're behind us. Now, the troops have headed down to the park and we're going to go down there as well. But it's been like at least 2 hours between talking about kit. So I thought it's been way too long. So I don't know, I'm just seeing a bit of a trend at the moment, right? And look, this is me talking. Anyway, it doesn't matter. You know, if you don't like kit, don't watch this channel. Like, I'm obsessed with it. So, yeah. All right. So, one of the things I've noticed recently is with sort of really high-end gear, and by high-end I mean expensive gear, you're seemingly seeing more of a push towards like fashion over function. Now, like, and that is in comparison to, you know how like probably 4 or 5 years ago, I've said this before in the vlog, but like it was push about aero, technical, waffle, blah blah blah, like this is faster, aero tunnel, etc etc. And it's been interesting now, and you're seeing this with a few other brands popping up, that they're pure fashion label brands, right? It's like couture on a bike. It's interesting because it's okay. My theory on this is, again, it comes back to these new people coming into the sport, right? And these new brands are trying to feed into them and say, well, those people aren't necessarily going to be performance-orientated people. We're going to go after the fashion aspect on these people. What I'm kind of finding interesting, though, is the sort of established brands, which, you know, we're heavily involved with one of them, are seeing that and having helicopters fly past them. And their play at this seems to be, right, well, we're going to back the fact that we've done the whole like performance stuff. That stuff's still available. So, you know, from the Rafa example, you've still got the Pro Team Aero jersey, and that is your performance piece of kit. But what they're doing is they're layering beneath that with the Pro Team jersey. G'day, guys. Girls are in the tree. Girls are in the tree. I'll pop over in a sec. Bib shorts. What are we seeing there? We're definitely seeing less paneling, which I think is a good thing, and potentially, well, obviously the Powerwave stuff, that was like no paneling, which is probably too far the extreme. But you're seeing definitely less paneling in the high-end thing. Any kind of like GCNE reviewy stuff of like top 5 bib shorts, you'll always see reduced paneling, okay? And that's my like trick for looking for, well, spending your money the right way. What is your favourite colour, Ottie?
Blue.
Catherine Lee?
Blue.
Kira Ann?
Yellow.
Corella?
I don't know.
Oh, I don't know. Just on that, on colours, couple of thoughts currently. Where are we currently? 2021. I think pastels possibly on the way out. So your kind of springy type colours leaving, and I'm starting to think we might see a few kind of deeper brown, orange, red, possibly purples sort of making their way into the vicinity. So maybe the days of the pastel, maybe even the days of the colour block could be ending. Is the day of the gradient coming back? No. Well, when it's done well, it's okay. It's just when it's lazy, it's not good. And then there's the whole gravel t-shirty cargo thingy, right? Which, alright, initially, definitely thought was a pretend fad. That was like, oh, here we go. We're just going to be sold this stuff because we're being convinced we should buy a whole new range of sort of wardrobe things. Having now ridden in the stuff, here's my 2 cents on it. If you're a rusted on roadie, you don't need it. You just don't need it. Like, you could 100%, you've got enough gear in your wardrobe to get you through whatever alleged sort of off-road event you're doing. But, you know, like we were saying the other day, I don't think that's who's riding gravel. Like, I don't think the rusted on roadies are the ones doing the gravel. So it's the new people on bikes, and for you guys, then yeah, like, why doesn't your sort of cycling wardrobe then include a couple of Lycra cycling jerseys and a couple of t-shirts and some cargo bibs? Like, I totally see that if you're in that kind of category. I stand by what I said at the beginning of the year. I still like the design concept of Bahrain Merida or Bahrain Victorious. Don't particularly like the colours, the red being too pastel-y. Yeah, be nicer if it was a darker, deeper red, but the whole design concept of it, I like it. Good. What were you just looking for?
I was just looking for a unicorn
And you said, where is the unicorn?
because I can't find them on this. This is the unicorn. No unicorn. No unicorn. No unicorn. No unicorn.